Hello everyone, welcome to BISP Solutions. I am Payal Makichani, your host for the evening, and today we're gonna learn further about EPBCS. And in today's webinar, we're gonna learn about expense planning. So, first, let me tell you what an expense is. An expense is an item recurring an outflow of money, any form of fortune in general, to another person or a group as a payment of an item, service, or other category of cost. And what is expense planning? And expense planning is also known as an expenditure plan or a spending plan. It is a strategic tool that a small business or large business can use to manage money. The expenditure plan helps in tracking the amount of income or revenue available and in making decisions on how to use this income and also to save some. Therefore, a spending plan is an inevitable and essential tool in the formulation of long term and short term financial planning. Expense planning can also be done, as we discussed this in the last webinar. Expense planning can also be done with three ways. One, one is trend based expense planning. All right, so here we're gonna learn about driver based expense. So I have curated an example for an easy understanding of expense planning. So here we are working with a company is who delivers delivery cost, and where delivery cost calculates as distance covered by the total distance covered in a month into delivery cost per kilometer comes total delivery cost. So this is the whole expenditure, month-wise expenditure of ordering cost in a company, which we're gonna uh, see how to insert that in our application, in our planning application. So let's move on to a cloud. This is our application, EPBCS application, where we're gonna work. And when I talk about driver based expense, here distance covered and delivery cost per kilometer is our driver. So let's first create our driver in our application. Click on to the application and configure card. Click on to the application cluster to have a configure card, and then you get such page where you can click onto the drop down button near strategic modeling and click onto the financials, and this sort of a page shall appear. Now what are we doing here? We are doing planning of an expense account. So click on to the expense account. Here I'm gonna selling expense. It's on selling expense. Component would be selling expense drivers. Click onto actions, add. Here I have already created a name, distance covered. So distance covered, and average. It would be non-currency, save. Similarly, we will create another driver name as delivery cost. Delivery cost would be in currency, save. These are the two drivers, and then we want um, total selling expense, because I want it to be the parent member of warehousing and total delivery cost, and we cannot create child through configure from av- ordering cost would be, I think, flow, currency, and save. You cannot change data storage property type from here, so okay, close. And let me set up few other things as well. Okay, application, where configure, financials, entities completed. So here I created two drivers. Now let's create a form. Create a form stating at cube OEPFS. Next, set account as per your own preferences, where I will take distance covered as my first account. Add row. I am creating this layout as drivers of ordering cost. Next, distance covered, delivery cost, and I want third thing as warehousing cost. This would be my input, and I'll show you how we will input our data. Edit, year total, F I descendants. Okay, choose your years. Financial year 23. Let's work with financial year 23 only. Version, here I'm taking an entity, IT or manufacturing. We can take manufacturing US as our entity. Product would be some kind of accessories maybe. Okay, and choose your intersection very wisely according to the sheet you have created for the historical data. Currency USD. We will import our data into OFS load. So plan element would be OFS load, and market would be US market. Save. Let's check out with the preview we have for our data form. Uh, you can see here clearly that what are we getting here is all gray out. This is because we cannot input data directly into our historical data, but when we will move further to the month October, November, December, we can surely enter and change the data through direct data input as well, because it's the actual working data. uh, it's a forecasting data, sorry, that's why. And a form for output ordering cost output, right? Again, I'll take a cube as OEPFX. Next, now I want three accounts here: add row and add row. Now I want to create this data form right here. So warehousing cost, Control C, Control V. and ordering cost, control C, control V. For period, choose all other POVs exactly same as we chose for the driver data form. Manufacturing company we are working with. Yes. Accessories was our product. Scenario, OFS load. I told you why we are working with OFS load. Market could be US market. So here we are done with creating two data forms. One was for the input and one was for output. Let's preview. Okay, done. Finish. Now we will load historical data. So I have already created a sheet here. Oh God. I think there's an issue with our application. Let's see. Okay, so click on to application and overview. Now we will load historical data. I have already created a sheet right here which provides an input to our data form for all the months of January, February, March, April, and our forecasting months as well, October, November, and December. These are the data for the drivers, and we will calculate with this we will calculate our expense, our ordering cost. Okay, so first let's import data, create, choose file. Remember, if you are importing a historical data, you will always need a CSV file, historical data dot CSV. Validate and import. How we will check if our data is imported or not? Close it and then move to the jobs, and my import of data is completed successfully. So now let's move to our data form, input data form, and see whether we have got all the things we need. Let's move on to our data form, which we curated for the drivers. Ordering cost. We created drivers of ordering cost. And we have our data right here. This is all the historical data which we imported, and this is all the forecasted data which we imported. Now, if we see on our output, ordering cost output, we will only have the data for warehouse because that's the data I have inserted. Now I want the data for total delivery cost as well. So for this, we will create a business rule. So click onto the rules. Yesterday we learned how to write business rule with the help of edit script. Today we're gonna learn how we will write a business rule through designer view. So keep learning. Yes. ebuilt. Now we will make all our business rule in OEPFS because we are working in this cube. So for designer, um, for design business rule, here we will write a formula. We will create one formula, new formula. This is comparatively an easier way to create a business rule. Okay, oh god. Okay, you have to use a proper naming convention. I did something wrong here. Let's create one more, new formula ordering cost. Okay, so this is the page which will come, and now we will curate a formula. So the total delivery cost is equals to, when we will see the formula here, total delivery cost is equals to distance covered into delivery cost per kilometer. So distance covered, total delivery cost, control C, put it in a double inverted commas, is equals to distance covered into delivery cost and validate the formula. Our formula validation has done with no errors. This type of a confirmation message shall appear. Save it. Okay. So now again click on to the system view and right click on the rules, new. We are creating a business rule for delivery cost. Okay. So this is a designer view. This is edit script. We learned business rule through edit script in our last webinar. So here I'm gonna work with designer. So on existing objects, click on ebuild OEPFS, and then we wrote our formula in the formula underscore ordering cost. So we will click on the image which is on the very left hand corner of the formula, and we will drag and drop between the begin and end of the um, two of the dots. Okay, and then we will validate and save. The rule validated with no errors and was saved. Okay, and then deploy the business rule. Then launch it. Our business rule was created. Now move on to our application. Now click on the layout and attach the business rule we just created. Business rules. We created BR delivery cost. Add and run after save. Save. Move to our data form and see if we can calculate our delivery cost. See, it already calculated our delivery cost, and the data business rule ran successfully. Now we can check if the answer we are getting is according to the requirement we had. So this was the answer we were looking for. Right, so in the month of January our ordering cost is 11,500. Same with February, we have 11,200, then 10,900. Now we cannot change, so our requirement matches with the business rule we have currently. So um, now this is the historical data we have, right? We cannot change it, but we can surely plan our data in the month, plan and forecast and change our data respectively in the month of October, November, and December, and see if we are getting the proper results. Suppose if the warehouse, we can change warehousing cost to 2000 here, and December to 5000. It can change, right? Save our ordering cost will change. Let's move on to our drivers of ordering cost, and we cannot change drivers for the month of from the month of January to September. So we will only focus on October, November, December. We can change our delivery cost. Suppose our delivery cost change to 50 rupees per kilometer. All right, and now I'll save it and see what changes uh, I would have got in our ordering cost output. See, my delivery cost changed accordingly. Now it changed, right? And same, my ordering cost changed now. Just to see it simultaneously, we will create a dashboard. So click onto the dashboard on navigator, ordering cost. On the very right hand corner with actions, create dashboard. Name, right? Now move to our forms which we created. Place the drivers as well as the output sheet in the, you just need to drag and drop, and you will be able to see all the things simultaneously on the same page. You can add the bars or the graphs according to your need, right? You can see here December, November, December. Let's change December and see. Let me do it 100 here and save. And let's see, save. See, things changed likewise. And then we can save the dashboard and we can watch it in a similar format always whenever we want to plan our ordering costs and expenses. So this is how all the plans are um, set are